Hi, this is Pastor Doug. Last Sunday we talked about Noah and the flood. In Genesis 6, it speaks of the corruption and the violence that filled all of humanity, and it seems to have spread throughout creation. And God was cut to the heart. He was grieved that he had even made humanity because of the extent that evil had pervaded his creation. And so God determined to start once again fresh with Noah and his family, wiping out that corruption and that evil. You know, it's easy to think of, well, that's the Old Testament view of God, and the New Testament view of God. As Jesus comes, he presents the way of salvation for all, and that is absolutely true. However, Jesus himself says in John 33:36 that whoever has the Son, meaning Jesus, has life, but whoever rejects the Son does not have life, and the wrath of God remains on him or on her. There is still a judgment to come. And it's sobering thinking of people around us, or maybe you listening to this video. You don't have the Son. You have pushed Jesus aside, or others have rejected Jesus. We have the opportunity, the privilege, the responsibility to continue to bring the good news of salvation that is found through Jesus and Jesus alone. In the book of 2 Peter, it describes Noah as a preacher of righteousness. And I think he was a preacher in the sense that he would have spoke about the right ways of God to others, even if they didn't want to listen, but he proclaimed that. But he also lived out the right ways of God. Back in Genesis 6, it says that he was a person who lived righteously, a person who was whole and blameless, a person who walked with God. It was his words and his deeds that matched that consistent, lifelong connection with God that was presented before others. Today, we have the opportunity to be agents of renewal and grace and mercy and truth in the lives of other people. Who around us needs to hear that message? Who around us needs to see a consistent life? Lord Jesus, help us to live faithfully before you. Help us to walk faithfully before you. Help us to live in a way that's righteous so that others are drawn to you. Help us to love well. That was your command to your church. Love one another as I have loved you. As people see the love of Christ flowing through us, they are drawn to the love of God, who has made a way of escape from judgment. May God enable us to live in that close communion with him. This week we continue in Genesis, the story of God, God's revelation, and man's futile attempt to get to God through building a tower to the heavens, Genesis 11, and how God begins with Abraham to develop a people who walk by faith. We'll see you Sunday, either in person or online, and have a great week.